I'm going to kick off, read the script, and we'll get right into our agenda. All right. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will be conducted via remote means in accordance with applicable law. This means that members of the public body, as well as members of the public, may access this meeting via virtual means. Participants may access this meeting through the remote meeting link as posted on the meeting agenda and through the town's online calendar. When required by law or allowed by the chair, persons wishing to provide public comment or otherwise participate in the meeting may do so by raising their hand or otherwise signaling their intent to speak. This meeting will be recorded. Please take care to mute your microphone unless you have been recognized by the chair. We will now confirm attendance of members. Please respond with present if you're on the call. Matthew Ronka.
Present.
Elise Mayalowski.
Present.
Lucia Lopez.
Present.
Michael King.
Present.
Parker Happ.
Present.
Peter Mimo.
Present.
Vikasath Prati.
Present.
Amna Dewan, I think, is going to be late if she can make it. And I am here. All right. So I think let's just jump into the agenda. This should be we don't have that much much to our agenda because the public hearing has been the applicant has asked for a continuance. So minutes of August 4th. Does anyone have any comments? I know Lori, you're on. So any comments for Lori?
Matthew and Lucia, and they've both been corrected. Updated.
Okay. Anyone else?
Rob,
Go ahead.
yeah, we just had a question. There were two documents that were in the folder. And whether the
deleted.
All right, what was the one, the PDF August 4 updated? Is that the most recent?
That's the one I deleted.
Okay, so copy of August 4th is
Correct.
Okay.
Is there anything else, or are we ready for a vote? I'd like to make a motion to accept the meeting minutes for August 4th. Should I do these separately? Actually, let's try to do them both at the same time. August 4th, 2025 and August 18th, 2025 as amended.
So moved. Second.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Parker. Roll call vote. Matthew Ronka.
Yes.
Elise Mayalowski.
Yes.
Lucia Lopez.
Yes.
Michael King.
Yes.
Parker Happ.
Yes.
Peter Mimo.
Yes.
Vikasath Prati.
Yes.
And Rob Benson is a yes. All right. I don't see anyone on except for members or John or Lori. So, John, do you want to give us an overview of the bond request, release request for Singletary Way?
Sure. So Singletary Way is part of the Highland Park 3. And I don't really have much in the administrative files folder for that. Sorry, I was just looking to see if we put anything in there. So Highland Park 3 is kind of over by the golf course. There was a whole bunch of parts to it. And Singletary Way has been built, been accepted by the town. They just never asked for the bond back. So they are looking to get the bond back for that.
So there's no reason to not move forward with this.
Yeah, for this one, the town basically owns the road since 2018. So yeah.
All right, sounds good. I'd like to entertain a motion to release the bond of $16,808 for Singletary Way.
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Matthew. Thanks, Michael. Roll call vote. Matthew Ronka.
Yes.
Elise Mayalowski.
Yes.
Lucia Lopez,
Yes.
Michael King,
Yes.
Parker Hap,
Yes.
Peter Mimo,
Yes.
Vikasath Pratzi,
You muted.
Yes.
and Rob Benson is yes. All right, same question, John, for Stony Brook Road. What's the story here?
So this one's part of Highland Park 4, which is the last part of that Highland Park subdivision. This one is not fully complete yet. They're still building stuff. They're still doing the road. There's some issues with the design of the road that they're fixing now with the paving, but there are parts of it that are complete. We sent the request to Bay Associates. We just haven't heard back yet, so we don't have a peer review on the developer's review. So I can't recommend anything to the board at this point because we would want that review back before we do anything. So we
All
were
right.
hoping to get it back by this meeting, but we didn't.
Okay, yeah, I see in the notes here that it's recommending tabling this till our September 22nd meeting. So I don't think as a board, unless you have anyone has questions for John, I don't think we need to vote on this. It just is going to be on our agenda next week. All right. Moving on to 1.4, Wilson Street damage update. John, go ahead.
So this is just something from the DPW director. I put her quotes in the memo. They had to do some emergency repairs to Wilson Street because the developer still has not repaired it. And the estimate was about $1,100-$1,200. But the whole road still needs to get fixed. This is just an emergency repair to kind of keep it together. We've reached out to Vin several times. He said he was going to do the work. I referred back to the meeting in February. He is waiting on something from us that we don't know what it is. We've asked him. He's not clear about it. So we're trying to see what the deal is with that and why they haven't gotten started with the repair work that they said they would do.
Okay. For just to refresh people's memories, this was a topic on our planning board agenda for many meetings. If you remember, Legacy Farms, that section of Legacy Farms, there's a significant grade change from where the development is. That basically grade change down to the Hopkinton, I think it's Hopkinton Reservoir, where that's part of Hopkinton State Park, and Wilson Street is the road where this water flows to, and it's caused damage. And so Vin Quigley, the developer, has said Vin Gately, sorry. Vin Quigley is someone I used to work with 20 years ago. Vin Gately said he would repair the road, and it's still not been done. So I don't know what to do with this, John, other than just we have this information now.
Yeah, the DPW director just wanted me to pass that along to keep you aware since you were involved.
Okay. Yeah, this is frustrating to say the least. And I know the residents that use Wilson Street on an everyday basis are frustrated. So hopefully this gets resolved quickly and it's not on our agenda anymore.
Question, or Matt raised his hand first.
Let's go with Matthew, then we can go to Park. Matthew, go ahead.
Yeah. So, Rob, just reiterating what I just heard, we don't know what they're waiting. So Vin is waiting on the town, but the town doesn't know what he's waiting on.
Yeah, so it's kind of a confusing process. So Vin was not happy that the board raised the bond amount. And so he sent us a letter from his attorney saying that the planning board can't raise the bond. It doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. And so we said, we're not going to pursue this issue. The bond approval is in place, but we are not enforcing the need to get amount because town council was like, you can't, it depends on how it was done, kind of a thing. But we expected Vin to do the repair because he said he was going to do the repair. And so he's saying he's waiting on the town's response on the bond. My response has been, we are not pursuing the additional funding for this bond under the assumption that you were going to do these repairs, which you said you were going to do. And he is still waiting on the town's response about the bond, which we don't know what that would be other than what we've gotten back to him with. So we've reiterated, both Carrie Reed, the DPW director, and I have reiterated in email that we are expecting them to do this, and he's almost unresponsive because we get a email back every couple months.
Do they have any more homes to build? Like last I knew, there was
Yes, they do.
they couldn't build more homes for a variety of reasons, but it was some of it was related to this. I think there was just the Conservation Commission.
Yeah, Conservation Commission has a cease and desist on the property, and then they can release units on a request basis, I guess is how you'd refer to it.
Okay,
Rob,
so
does the town have the have the ability to basically perform if they're not getting any action, perform the repairs and just build them, or that just doesn't seem like it'll ever collect?
I don't think we should because it's so close to first frost. It's inadvisable to do road work this late in season.
Yeah,
So the answer to that is no, not really, unless the road fails. Because I think Carrie Reed's plan, and this is not final, was to basically have to request funding from town meeting to repair Wilson Street at some point if this doesn't get fixed by the developer. So I don't think we can just go and fix it because I don't think we're budgeted for it because it's not in the traffic improvement plan or any kind of like DPW funding to my knowledge. I could be wrong. But I think we'd have to get an appropriation to fix this road at this point.
So as a board, we've kind of taken them from, unless I'm mistaken, we've taken really the only step we can by increasing the bond amount. I don't know what else we can do to hold his feet to the fire.
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to talk to town council and see if there's, any kind of brainstorming we can do, I'm happy to do that.
That would be the best next step.
I mean, the issue is that it's offsite impacts. It's like who has jurisdiction when that happens? I mean, it's planning board for stormwater, but then it's a confusing situation.
So just to be clear, we don't have any levers to pull right now other than
I'd have to check with town council as to what levers we do have.
But like the Vin thinks we're not allowed to raise the bond, which sorry if I missed that in the meeting packet, but did we see a letter from town council giving us advice on that we couldn't do that? Or can you just clarify that point?
No, yeah, we never really got a full answer because we basically said we're not going to pursue this bond right now, so we're not going to waste town council's time trying to get a final answer for it. So if we want to talk to town council and get it, we can. But it was like, depending on the impacts and because it's a site plan that the bond is under, you've got to relate it to a condition in the site plan, and there might not be a specific enough condition that relates it. It's like this.
Okay.
Because site plans are different in Massachusetts. They're not regulated like special permits are. So there's not like state guidance towards them as much as special permits are.
And there's nothing in the site plan that's directly related to Wilson Street.
It's offsite impacts.
Yeah. So could we, like, just playing the tape forward, Carrie's going to have to go forward in front of town meeting probably and ask for money because this guy's not going to do it anytime soon. And should we, like, proactively as a board make some sort of article at town meeting asking for this funding, or can we do anything like that functionally? Would that be out of scope?
Yeah, I don't think that would be within planning board jurisdiction.
And we don't want to raise the bond anymore as a second or third offense because that seems to not be doing anything.
Well, the other option is you can cash in the bond, right? But the bond that we currently have is $75,000, and that's for the site. So if there's any other work that needs to be done on the site because the developer didn't do it, then that bond is gone. We've raised the bond to, I think it was like 162. But if Vin is not providing the bond, then that's the issue. Now that's a legal course of action that we have to do to try and obtain that funding to then use for the road to cash
So,
the bond.
question, maybe this is town council then. Could we cash the bond and then at a later date, if there are things directly related to the site plan? No.
No, because they would have to raise the bond, it would have to be new things that come up, right? That's why the argument was to raise the bond for these stormwater impacts, because they weren't anticipated prior to the granting of the site plan approval. The bond that we have is in place for the things that are part of the decision.
Right.
So if you were to then raise the bond later, you would be raising on things that you've already gotten a bond for.
Right.
Right. So that would be, in my mind, unworkable.
Is cashing the bond a one-door decision where we couldn't put it back essentially? Like we could cash it and then at some point, I'm just trying to pull
So
lever
cashing
here.
in the bond is a pretty extreme end. Like that's
Okay.
that's going to do larger impacts than just like getting free money and then paying for it.
I think our next best step, John, is if you could pursue this conversation with town council to see,
Yep.
like I think as a board, we all want the road fixed. We have voted for him to increase the bond because we feel he's responsible, and that's what if we have any levers to pull to get this to happen and get it to happen sooner than later, that's what we should try to do.
I have a couple of questions, if that's okay, about the temporary repair.
Peter, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Do we have a sense as to how temporary these repairs are? Are we going to have to do more temporary repair work
It's basically like a patch.
Okay.
Like an asphalt patch, but because there's a washout, it's not just patching a pothole, it's patching.
So just to give you a sense of how this road is structured, it's like a pretty significant downhill slope, and water comes off the development and down the side of the road, and the side of the road basically it just washes out like dirt and part of the pavement. And so I think what they're doing is basically they're filling that dirt and pavement back in after it washes out from significant rainstorms. And it's not going to be permanent, but it's not going to solve the problems.
Basically, there's two levels. There's the pavement, and then the dirt washes out, so the pavement's just crumbling into the hole. If that makes sense.
It makes some sense. I guess it sounds as though that this temporary, there's going to be another quote unquote temporary repair. It sounds like when there's another significant storm after they put it in. I'm just kind of curious about. I guess my larger point is that it seems that the town is picking up temporary repair costs. Does that constitute a quote unquote new thing that could justify raising the bond?
No, because it's not a new thing to the project. So the stormwater has been an issue on that site, but they've largely corrected it. And so this damage that happened when it wasn't corrected, did a lot of damage, and then that eats away, right? So the stormwater runoff that comes down now is not as bad as it was, but it will slowly work that road away. So it's not new stuff. It's an impact from something that was corrected. But what you're saying is the main issue is the town is now faced with needing to repair this road. The impacts have been identified as being caused by the developer's project. They are not seemingly willing to repair the road. What do we do to get this done?
Okay. Thank you.
Matthew, go ahead.
Do we have an updated estimate on how much would be needed to spend on this if the town were to take it, given inflation costs in the last year, for instance?
I don't think so. I don't know.
If the town does it, we have to pay prevailing wage, whereas if the developer does it, he wouldn't be obligated to pay prevailing wage, is my understanding.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of his argument for trying to lower the price. And I remember he also didn't want to raise the bond because he said there was enough there to cover this if he didn't do it.
Mhm.
So it seems like he's.
But to the chair, just, I mean, if the town pays it, let's say that, aren't we pre-setting some kind of emotions, say that, you know, in futures, anybody can do the same. I mean, just because we are doing this and town picks up this. So that would be.
I would imagine if the town paid for it, they would pursue the money back from the developer through legal channels.
Okay, got
I
it.
don't think the town is just going to go and.
No, thanks for clarifying, John. Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I was
fine.
saying. Because we paying it then big some.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
You're
I don't think
resetting
that's.
an
I think
expectation for others.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the plan would be. I'm not in charge of paving the roads or repairing the roads. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know if that's been thought through. But yeah, I don't think the town is just going to be like, oh, we tried. No, I don't think that's the plan.
Through the chair. So
Go ahead, Park.
like we as a board, maybe we want to send like a strongly worded letter that, you know, we'll set a deadline to resolve. But even if we did, would it be advisable to do that this season at all? Because I don't think it is. So it's for kind of kicking the can down the road to fix this in the spring, essentially. Is that the consensus right now? It seems.
My understanding is that he sent a attorney letter, so now it's a legal matter. So we can't send
Okay.
as a board; it has to be responded through legally. No, see, as a board, as mentioned, as a board, we decided the best course of action. Let's stand to it. That's it. Let the town council get back and see what we can do.
I don't think it's purely a legal issue. I mean, if the board wanted to ask Finn to come in and say, you know, what's going on,
Mhm.
I think that would be okay. I don't think that would be an issue just because he sent an attorney letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the attorney letter was basically just saying we don't think you can raise this bond.
So, John, that means as Peter was, Parker was recommending, so can we send a letter to him, asking a strong letter then? Or just request, or just a summon?
Yeah, the board can send a letter.
Mhm.
Or you can request that he attends a meeting and discuss with the board. I mean, you can, reach out however you want.
Matthew, go ahead.
I guess my question would be like, what would be in that letter? Do we just want him to explain basically what John just said, or what would we get out of that? Do we have an
I
idea?
want to know if we have any leverage first. Like, just if we have any leverage, like that's when I think it's appropriate to. That's why I think asking town council as the next step is the next best course of action to find out if we have any leverage. And if we have any leverage to force action, then we can send a request to get them in front of us. Then we can do things. But just without knowing that, I don't know what we're gonna. I don't know. I would rather know that first.
Through the chair, I think our leverage is the bond, but I don't think we should cash that because if I believe you said Concom is a stop order or some sort of cease and desist on his development for whatever ranging reasons, it seems that there are other issues that it probably wouldn't be in the interest of the town to cash that. So yeah, I mean, like whatever we can find that's at our disposal, but I think just having him come to the meeting and say what's going on would probably be an appropriate next step. I don't know if anybody disagrees with that.
Through the chair, I would certainly prefer having him before us to sending just a letter. I prefer to have him before us.
Okay, let's see if we can do that in parallel. Let's see if we can request him to become before the board and proceed with town council of.
Do you want to try and get him for the 22nd? That's the next meeting.
If our agenda allows for it, yeah.
Yeah, through the chair again, just reconfirming. I mean, fine, we'll get to the board, but again, the question still stands out that what exactly we're gonna pursue for it. I mean, he will come back with the same status. Hey, you raise the bond, let's fix that bond, reduce the bond. That's what he's asking. So if let's say he comes back and says we reduce, you take away the bond, is the board gonna say take the? I'm just trying to understand.
We can clearly
want?
relay the town's stance. We can
Right.
ask him when he plans on fixing the road. We can
Mhm.
so we like right now he's claiming there's ambiguity and he's waiting for answers.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think there is any ambiguity, and I don't think there's any answers forthcoming that he doesn't already have.
Okay.
So he's just stalling, and we can basically try to get information from him of like, when do you plan on fixing the road? And hopefully within the next 2 weeks, our town council can give us some guidance on what leverage we have, if any.
Makes sense. Okay. $22nd.
Anyone have anything else on this topic? I think it's unfortunate, and the root of a lot of this problem is when he developed that site, he clear cut the whole site and didn't do it in a staggered approach, and he doesn't want to take responsibility for that, and so that caused a lot of the water and runoff issues. And it's caused a lot of problems just for the entire project, and like Wilson Street and the residents around there have been kind of the burdening those bad decisions.
Been going on since what, 23 too? 2023? Longer?
Yeah, I think at least 2023. All right. Let's go to agenda item 2. The applicant asked for a continuance for the special permit for off-street parking in the business district at 3 Claflin Street. Do I need to continue the public hearing to September 22nd?
Yes.
And there's no decision deadline to continue, right?
I don't believe so. Nope. 90 days from the close of the public hearing.
All right.
I'll move we continue the public hearing to September 22nd
Thanks, Matthew.
for Claflin.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Parker. All right, roll call vote. Matthew Ronca,
Yes.
Elise Mayalowski,
Yes.
Lucia Lopez,
Yes.
Michael King,
Yes.
Parker Happ,
Yes.
Peter Mimo,
Yes.
Vika South Prati,
Yes.
Rob Benson is a yes. And that brings us to the end of our agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn for this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Vic. Thanks, Michael. Roll call vote. Matthew Ronca,
Yes.
Elise
Yes.
Mayalowski,
Yes.
Lucia Lopez,
Yes.
Michael King,
Yes.
Parker Happ,
Yes.
Peter Mimo,
Yes.
Vika South Prati,
Yes.
and Rob Benson is a yes. All right. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Good night, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.